Hi, my name is Jen. I'm from KetoCookingWins.com. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite weeknight dinner hacks. It can be on your table in under 20 minutes and is full of delicious veggies, peppers, celery, bean sprouts, mushrooms, big hunks of tender chicken. It's called chicken chop suey. It's an American Chinese classic takeout dish. So come on back and I'm going to show you how to make this fabulous keto and low carb dish. Welcome back. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make this chop suey dish that can be on the table in less than 30 minutes. It's right up there along with egg roll in a bowl as one of my favorite go-to weeknight dinners when I'm in a crunch for time. So the first thing we're going to do is get our chicken cut up. I've got 2 chicken breasts here. They're boneless and skinless to save time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my chicken into thin slices. It's still a little bit frozen. Makes it much easier just to cut into thin slices. Thin slices so that it cooks quickly. And you'll notice that I'm cutting across the grain. If you look at the chicken, you can see the way the meat fibers go. You want to cut perpendicular to that. It just helps to keep the chicken more tender. Before I get started on the next one, I'm going to heat up Mr. Tasty here so that I can get my oil nice and hot, so that the chicken cooks quickly. Like any good stir fry, we're going to cook this one in batches. We're going to start with the chicken, we're going to take that out, and then we're going to cook the veggies. So I'm going to give it, probably about 2 tablespoons of oil in here. Just like that. And let that get heating up. Alright, chicken, move over. And cut the next one. This is a big one. Just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to cut the tenderloin off of it, the chicken tenders. Alright, let's get chicken in pan. Now if you had a few extra minutes, you could marinate this chicken a little bit ahead of time. I would marinate it in a bit of soy sauce. This gives it a little bit more flavor. There we go. In goes the chicken. Alright, I'm just going to stir it around a little bit. It's going to take a couple minutes to cook, and I'll keep my eye on it. In the meantime, we're going to get the rest of our veggies ready. I, of course, have bean sprouts, super crazy high in nutrition, fairly low in carbs, and they got a good bit of fiber in them, so that you get fairly low net carbs, which makes this a great dish. I've got some mushrooms, the biggest mushrooms you've ever seen in your life. They're ginormous. I wish I were stuffing these guys, but not today. I've got 3 sticks of celery, half a green onion, some yellow green pepper, yellow onion. Let's learn our colors. This is only going to work out to about half a cup of yellow onion, so not very much. Some green onion to go on top, and some garlic. Alright, let's get our mushrooms ready. I don't like the stems in stir fries because the stems are a little bit woodier and they take a little bit longer to cook. So here's my neat little trick for popping the stems out. Just hold the mushroom in the palm of your hand like that, and then with your other hand just press down on the stem until it pops out, just like that. Alright, these guys we're just going to chop into big pieces. We don't want to cut them too small or they will just disintegrate in the dish. I want to see the nice big hunks of mushroom. So there are my mushrooms ready to go. Now let's get the celery cut up. I'm going to cut my celery on the bias. That means I'm going to cut it on an angle. If you ever notice, Chinese food takeout, they often have such lovely big pieces of celery, and that's because they cut them on the bias. So what you want to do is you want to put your celery down on the board. Ooh, move him so that it's not rocking around. I'm going to hold my knife and I'm going to cut on an angle on this celery. I'm not cutting perpendicular to the celery. I'm cutting it on about a 45-degree angle. Cutting right through the celery, just like that. This also increases the surface area of the celery so that it'll cook a little bit faster at a higher heat. So there's almost all the celery. You know what? And this dish is so versatile. If you don't like celery, don't add it. If you don't like celery that much, don't add that much celery. If you love celery, go for it, add some more. I love the crunch and the color, of course, and it just gives this dish a real burst of freshness that's really quite lovely. All right, no fingers harmed in the process. Excellent. And our onion, I'm just going to give the onion a bit of a chop. There we go. So the onions and the celery and the mushroom are going to take the longest time to cook. So once our chicken is cooked, I'm going to add these guys into the pan so that they can start cooking. Alright, and I think the chicken is just about good. A couple pieces left that could use a bit more time. You can see how the chicken is nice and white and opaque, and I'm dripping chicken everywhere. But it's cooked chicken now. So I'm going to get all of this out and into a bowl, juice and all, so that that's going to help build our lovely sauce. Into the bowl. He's going to hang out there until the end when we're just about ready. All right, whoops, mushrooms, in you go. Onion and celery in. I mean, look at how many veggies we got going on here. It is going to cook down somewhat. Well, that's a lovely bunch of veggies. All right, so my veggies are going here nice and hot. You want to watch so we don't want to burn them. There is such a thing as too hot. And I've got half a green pepper. I'm just going to slice this up. Nice big slices. All right, next I'm going to show you my trick for quick, easy peeled garlic. Let me just give this a little bit of a stir here. As you know, fresh garlic can be kind of tedious to get the papery wrapping off of it. What I've done is I've taken a little paring knife, another headfuls, and I've just snipped off each end of the garlic. I'm going to take the garlic clove, put it on my board, and with the flat edge of my knife, I'm going to squish the garlic. I've squished the garlic, not pulverized, but given it a good squish, and look at that, the peel just comes right off then. Ta-da, just like that. And out of the way. And I'll do this one the same way. I've snipped off each end. Give it a squish and a quick peel. And that's it. No yucky, sticky, papery, leathery stuff to deal with. And I'm going to give my garlic a quick chop because this dish just would not be the same without garlic. Do watch though that garlic is a little bit higher in carbs. And in fact, I'm going to add my garlic right now so that it's got a chance to cook down and give those veggies some lovely flavor. Excellent, we're on our way. So the veggies are starting to get a little bit lightly brown. That's okay. The mushrooms are going to start giving off liquid, and that's going to help to steam the rest of the veg, and that's just what we want. We want to go until just about when the onions are translucent because we don't want to overcook this dish. Stir fries, part of their beauty is that they've got such a lovely crunch still to the veggies. So that's what we're looking for. See, we're not too cooked yet, just starting to get a little bit cooked down, and the onions are starting to get translucent. Alright, so the green pepper I'm not going to pop in until the very end because green pepper cooks super, super fast, and I don't want to kill it. I don't want limp, yucky green pepper. To garnish our dish, we're going to add some chopped green onion. And again, we're going to cut it on the bias so that we've got nice, lovely big pieces of green pepper. Start with here I am mixing my veg again. Green onions. Start with them on the cutting board in front of you like this so that they're horizontally in front of you. Hold your knife at a 45-degree angle and just go ahead and cut towards your fingers, scooching them out of the way of the green onion. I got it right that time, as you go. See those pieces on my knife? They're lovely diagonally sliced. No tricks, just turned our knife a little bit. All right, let's see how this is doing. Excellent. I think this is just about ready to take off so we can make our sauce. But Jen, what about the bean sprouts? We're gonna cook those at the end. All right, into here, my pan is still really, really hot. Turning it down just a little bit. I've got some chicken broth. I'm using low sodium or no salt added chicken broth. I'm gonna add about a cup to my pan, which is still hot. You're gonna hear a massive sizzle here. Perfect. It's also going to get up all the lovely bits from the chicken that we cooked and the veggies that we cooked. Yummy. That adds flavor. Flavor, my friends. And I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of coconut aminos. Of course, if you're doing low carb and you're not worried too much about the carbs, you can do soy sauce, but the coconut aminos work just fine in this dish. And I'll pop a link to those down below too. You can get them on Amazon. All right, my sauce is back up to a boil. This is good. What does reducing mean? Reducing means taking liquid and boiling it until you reduce the amount of liquid and really concentrate the flavors in there. Okay, I'm going to pop in my bean sprouts. I started with about 1 pound of bean sprouts. You're going to see they cook down to next to nothing, but I don't want to overcook them. We still want to have some crunch. So in go my sprouts. I hope my pan is going to be big enough. We'll give these just a quick second to cook down a little bit. How do you know when bean sprouts are cooked? Well, you can eat them raw. So you don't really need to cook them at all, really. You do want to bring them up to a hot temperature just to make sure you kill off anything that might be in there. You never know. But they don't really take very long. I can see that some of them are already starting to get a little bit limp and translucent. That's a good sign. So as you can see, I've got a fair bit of veggie in here and a fair bit in my bowl. So this recipe is going to easily feed 6 people with big hearty appetites. And you probably have some left over for lunch the next day too. All right, now that we've got a boil going on here, I don't want to overcook everything, so I'm going to, oh, you're heavy, add this pile to my pan. Look at all that goodness. Now I do want to stir it around and get that chicken down into the hot liquid to make sure we get the chicken brought up to temperature. The safe cooking temperature for chicken is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't eat it less than that. Don't eat pink chicken. That's no good either. So I used 2 chicken breasts, a bag of bean sprouts, which are really quite affordable. Celery is inexpensive most of the time. Some mushrooms, and just a handful of other ingredients to create this dish. So it's quite affordable. And look at all this food. And now the best part. Tasting it. The celery is light and crisp. The chicken is savory. The sauce is delicious. And those bean sprouts give it such a great flavor. I'm going to turn it off the heat. I don't want to overcook it. That, my friends, is chicken chop suey. And we had it done in hardly any time. You can sprinkle it with some green onions, serve it up, and you're ready to go. Thanks for hanging out with me today, learning how to make chicken chop suey. Of course, I'd love, love, love if you could subscribe. Hit the red button down below. Leave me any questions or comments that you might have. I get back to people pretty quickly. And be sure to stay tuned for my next recipe. I don't know yet what it'll be, or you can always check out any of the other recipes that I've got posted on my YouTube channel. And be sure to check out the blog at www.ketocookingwins.com. I'm Jen. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.